Welcome to Science 1 again. Last time we have learnt about the distance time graph for uniform and non-uniform motion. Today we will proceed with the next type of graph, that is VT graph or velocity time graph. But before that, let me try to recall you last time what we have learnt. We have learnt that the distance time graph gives us the slope, and that slope gives us the speed of the moving object, right? So we have to find out now what will be the velocity time graph. Okay, so but before you learn about velocity time graph, you know that distance upon time gives you the speed. Therefore, displacement upon time, what it will give? Let's see. Now, to understand velocity time graph, first you will have to understand about the displacement time graph. Okay, just like distance time graph, we can have even displacement time graph, wherein we can plot the t on the x-axis, that is the independent variable, and displacement, that is displacement can be plotted on the y-axis. Now suppose an object has started moving from point O, okay, and it has covered a certain distance in certain equal intervals of time, suppose, then you will get a linear graph like this. Let us take 2 points anywhere on the graph. Okay, so let's suppose this point be A and this point be B. Now, how we can find out what will be its displacement and the displacement and the time. Okay, fine. So if you see, displacement on the y-axis will be somewhere here, and the the time covered, or in time this much displacement it will be occurring, right? For B also, here it will be having like this, and we can find out this. Now if you see, we are having displacement, we are having time. So do you know what does displacement upon time gives us? Yes, you are right, it is nothing but velocity. So therefore, to find out velocity, we will have to use the graph called as displacement and time graph. So displacement and time graph gives us velocity. Now if I want to find out the velocity between these 2 points, that is from the vehicle has moved from point A to B, what can be the velocity between these 2 points? So velocity between these 2 points can be found out this way, that is A to B. If we have to find out the velocity, we will have to write the formula. Velocity is equal to displacement upon time. Now here displacement is from B to A. Let's suppose this second point here is S2, and this is S1, and this is T1, and this is T2. So when we are finding, we will have to find out the change in the displacement, and change in the displacement or the difference in the displacement is from S2 minus S1, correct? So it will be S2 minus S1, and time will be T2 minus T1. Okay, so remember students, here why I have used S is that S is the symbol for displacement, whereas distance is written as small d. Okay, whereas S is for displacement. Remember that. V is for velocity. Fine, and capital S is for the speed. So when we have to find out, we will get what? S2 minus S1 upon T2 minus T1. So let's suppose this time is, displacement is 4 meters, and here it is 2 meters, and the time over here is 1 second and 2 seconds. How can we find out the velocity between these 2 points? It's very easy. What you will have to do is that use this formula, S2 minus S1 upon T2 minus T1. What it will give us? So S2 over here is 4 minus 2 upon T is 2 seconds, and T2 is 2 seconds, T1 is 1 second. So what we are getting is 4 minus 2 is 2 upon 1, that is equal to 2 meters per second will be the velocity of the displacement time graph. Okay, so we have learnt now here that displacement time graph gives us velocity. Fine. So then what does velocity time graph gives us? So let's see now velocity time graph. Velocity is nothing but the displacement upon time. So that means it will be measured in meters per second. So velocity time graph, when we are plotting, remember always here time will be always on the x-axis, since it is the independent variable, whereas the velocity will be written here on the y-axis, and velocity is measured in meters per second. So you will be writing like this, fine, when we are plotting the graph. Now let's suppose here is the given data, small data is there. We have to find out what does velocity and velocity time graph give us. Let's see. Okay, now let's suppose an object is moving from point O, that is from the rest, and it is going to point A, point B, point C. Okay, fine. Now let's try to find out what will be the velocity between these 2 points. If we have to find out the change in the velocity, if you see over here the change, the first at point A, the velocity is 20 meters in first 10 seconds. Okay, in first 10 seconds it is 20 meters per second. In the second 10 seconds, that means when it reaches after 20 seconds, that means the difference between first point to second point is 10 seconds. Again in another 10 seconds we'll find that it has its velocity is 40 meters per second. That means it has changed, but it has changed uniformly. Again at point, if you see that it is 60 meters per second in another 10 seconds from point B to point C. Now if we have to find out the change in the velocity, how we can find out the change in the velocity? By taking final velocity minus initial velocity, and final velocity is the position of the car where whose final position will be the final velocity, and initial position will be the initial velocity. Let's suppose now the object is moved from A to B, and we have to find out how much is the velocity change. Then what we will have to take? B will be considered as the final position and A will be considered as the initial position. So let's find out how much is the velocity change here. So the velocity change over here will be at from A to B. What will be the velocity change? Okay, velocity change is how much? It will be the final minus initial, and final this velocity is 40 minus initial is 20, and in how much time it has covered? It has covered in 20 minus 10. Okay, final timing minus initial timing is 10. So how much is the answer coming now? We are getting here 20 upon 10. So which is nothing but 2 meters. Okay, so here this is measured in meters per second and this is second. So when we are writing, what we will be getting here? It will be like this, 2 upon 1. Okay, meters upon second, and this second what is there will be getting multiplied here, 1 upon second, like this. And what we will be getting? 2 meter, okay, 2 meter upon second square. Okay, and now you must be knowing that 2 meters per second square, isn't it, this unit, if you see, isn't it familiar to you? Yes, it is familiar because it is the unit of acceleration. So that means velocity time graph gives us what? The slope of the velocity time graph will give us acceleration. Fine, students, have you understood what it is? It is giving us acceleration. So this is a linear graph. So this linear graph indicates that acceleration has taken place. But how is the acceleration? Is it uniform? Let us try to find out. Now here at between these 2 points, it is 2 meters per second. That means let us try to find out at these 2 points whether it will be again 2 meters per second square or not. Let's see. So suppose at point C, that is it is moving from BC. So velocity will be equal to again 60 minus, so this will be the final position now, C, and B will be the initial position. So it will be 60 minus 40 upon time of 60 when it has reached to 60 meters per second in 30 seconds. So 30 seconds minus initial timing is 20. So what will be the answer? 60 minus 40 will become 20 upon 10. So again it is 2 meters per second square. So if you see over here, it is uniform acceleration is taking place. That means acceleration is going on. Why acceleration is there? Because there is change in the velocity. Every 10 seconds the velocity is going on changing at a constant rate. Okay, constant rate velocity is going on changing, and therefore since there is change in the velocity, we can say that this type of motion is uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, it is uniformly accelerated motion. Can we call it as uniform motion? Can uniformly accelerated motion be called as uniform motion? No, my dear students. In uniform motion, velocity remains constant or the speed remains constant. Here the velocity is not constant. It is changing constantly. It is changing at constant rate, but it is not constant. Like we cannot say that every time it is 20 meters per second, 20 meters per second, 20 meters per second. Then the graph would have been something like this. Okay, if the velocity would have been constant, like for example it has stopped at 80 meters per second is the velocity, suppose, and if after some time it the time is changing at equal intervals, but the velocity is not changing, then we can say that it is a uniform motion. Okay, but here if you see every 10 seconds it is going on. Okay, it is going on changing at the rate of 20 meters per second every time. So since it is changing, okay, since the velocity is changing, we cannot call this type of motion as uniform motion, but it is an uniformly accelerated motion, because according to the definition of acceleration, it says that it is the rate of change of velocity. That means whenever velocity will change, then only acceleration will happen. If the velocity does not change, that means it is constant velocity, then we will not have any acceleration, and that type of acceleration will be called as zero acceleration. Are you getting my point? Whenever velocity remains constant, the acceleration is zero. You are just keeping, suppose you are going on riding your scooter like this, okay, and you keep first time you have your the velocity is something like this, and constantly you are keeping the velocity at the same speed or same velocity you are keeping. You are not accelerating like this. So if you are accelerating, then it will become accelerated motion, but you are not changing the velocity. Then what will happen? There won't be any acceleration. It will be moving at the same velocity. Fine student, I hope so you have understood about what is accelerated motion and what is zero acceleration. If you see, this is an linear graph will show you always a accelerated motion. That means it is a positive acceleration. Okay, it is going on increasing. Therefore, it is a positive acceleration. Whereas when the velocity is not changing, it is remaining constant, acceleration is not taking place at all after equal intervals of time. So since acceleration is not taking place because the velocity remains constant, such type of acceleration will be called as zero acceleration. Okay students? Okay, so we have now learnt what? Positive acceleration, which is going like this, and zero acceleration. Okay, there is even another one, that is retardation, wherein, or negative acceleration, wherein the graph will be going down like this, wherein the object will be starting at a particular velocity, and then every time it will be going on getting reduced. In such a case, the graph will be like this. Fine. So have you understood the difference now? That means what I mean to say is that if you find like this graph, okay, of a VT graph, if you get a graph like this, okay, so that means here there is a change in the velocity. Okay, the change in the velocity is going on uniformly at uniform rate. Why uniformly? Why? Because the velocity is changing at a constant rate with the equal intervals of time. So such type of graph which gives you a linear graph will give you what? It will be uniformly accelerated motion. Uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, and this motion will be positive acceleration. Okay, it will be positive acceleration. Whereas if you get a graph like this, wherein the velocity is constant even after the equal intervals of time, time is going on changing but the velocity remains constant. Now in such case what you will say, it will be called as there is no acceleration at all, because there is no change in velocity. The velocity is constant, it is not changing 20, 40, 60, it is only, whatever it has started, that same velocity is going on. So this type of graph will be called as zero acceleration graph, okay, but constant velocity. Okay, fine students. So this is remaining parallel like this, fine. Whereas another one you can have is of negative acceleration, wherein a particular object has started with a particular velocity and then it is going on reducing like this with the increase in time. So this will be type of negative acceleration, also called as retardation or also called as deceleration. So this you have learnt. So this way also graph you can get. Fine. Now we have learnt now here that VT graph gives us what? Acceleration. VT, slope of VT graph gives us acceleration. Can a VT graph give us something else? Yes, we can find out even something else from the VT graph. Let's try to learn what else we can find out from the VT graph. So let's take an example of now zero acceleration. So zero acceleration, that means you will have a graph like this and then you will have like this. Fine. So time will be here and velocity will be here. Let's suppose now here this is 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40 and so on, and time is around 10, 20, 30 seconds, 40 seconds and so on. Now suppose an object has started not from the rest, but it has started at the initial velocity of around 40 meters per second. Okay, 40 meters per second, and it is moving with a constant velocity. So constant velocity every time. Fine. So now if you want to find out, suppose how much is the acceleration has taken place, zero, here acceleration is 0. Why? Because it is at the velocity is not changing but it is remaining constant. So it is this. Now let's see what else we can get from VT graph. If you see, we are having what? Velocity, we are having time. Okay, and you know that the formula of velocity is equal to displacement upon time. Correct. So that means if we have V and we have T, what we can find out? We can find out S. Okay, that is displacement. So from VT graph we can not only find out acceleration but even we can find out about the displacement. Now let's see how we can find out displacement. Like let's suppose now here up to 40 seconds the vehicle or the moving object has covered. Fine. So from here to here, how we can find out the displacement? We can find out displacement very easily by using the formula V is equal to S upon T. That means S, therefore S will be equal to what? V multiplied by T. Okay. Now velocity is what? Final velocity wherein the vehicle has started, it is around 40. Correct. And time it has covered is how much? It has from 0 to here, it has covered around how much? 40. So how much will be the displacement? 40 multiplied by 40 will give you 1600, that is 1600 meters. Is that clear? So how much it has covered now? 1600 meters displacement is there. How now if you just see, we have taken what? This much and we have taken this much, and if you see this structure, it looks like a rectangle, isn't it student? Yes, it is like a rectangle. And what we have done actually, we have taken what? Length multiplied by breadth we have done. Okay, what we have done? Length multiplied by breadth, that is 40 multiplied by 40. What is what we are getting? 1600 meters. So that means the displacement we can find out from VT graph. So VT graph not only gives the slope, not only gives us the acceleration, but even the area under the slope. Okay, the area under the slope will give you what? Displacement. So we can even find out what? Displacement from VT graph. So this was of the zero acceleration. Now let's see about the uniformly accelerated motion, that means a linear motion. Okay, suppose linear motion is there like this. Okay, and the object has covered around, again, let's suppose this is 5, 10, 15 and 20, and here we take around 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds and so on, and we have the point here 1, 2 and 3. Fine. Now if you want to find out between from now let's suppose it has from, sorry, not here, time we will take it little closer. So here, and this is around 6 suppose. Okay, now it has covered this much. Now let's suppose this point is A and this point is B. Now we have to find out how much is the displacement. So displacement will be what here? We will have to draw like this here, this way, here, and from here to here we will have to draw. Now if you see over here carefully, you can see the structure called as a trapezium. Okay, so in a linear graph we will get a trapezium structure. So if you want to find out how much is the displacement between these 2 points, it is very easy. What you will have to do, you will have to use the formula of displacement, and displacement formula is sum of parallel sides. Okay, area of a trapezium, area of a trapezium, what you are going to get, sum of parallel sides, okay, multiply upon 2 multiplied by height. Now if you see over here, parallel sides are these two and the height is this one. Fine. So if you want to find out how much is the displacement here, also you can easily find out. What you have to do is that you will have to do sum of the parallel sides. Sum means from here to here, A point is at 10. Okay, and B point, that is at 15, plus 15 divided by 2. Okay, multiplied by height is how much? 6 minus 4 becomes 2. Okay, so what will be the answer? 10 plus 15 will become 25 upon 2 multiplied by 2. Okay, so what you are getting, the answer is around 25 meters, right? So this you will get is the answer, 25 meters, right dear students? So this way you can easily find out from the VT graph both zero acceleration as well as the linear. This is called as a linear graph. Graph, we can find out the area below the slope will give you what? Displacement, very easily by using the formula. Here also, if you don't remember the formula of a trapezium, you can even use here you can see two structures. One is triangle and this is a rectangle. From these two also you can add and find out the displacement, how much is the displacement. So the triangle formula is half into base into height, whereas of the rectangle it is length into breadth. So here also you can easily find out. Here suppose if you take half into base into height, what will be the formula? Half multiplied by base. Suppose if you take this as the base, so it will be 2, and height will be how much? Height will be 15 minus 10 is 5. So how much it will be? Half into 2 into 5. Okay, so 2 into 5 becomes 10. 10 upon 2 becomes 5. Correct? So you are getting what? 5 as the answer of the area of this. Whereas here if you see length is from here to here it is 10, and this is 2. 10 multiplied by 2 becomes 20. So 5 plus 20 again becomes 25. So this way also you can find out without a trapezium formula. You can even find out using these two things, that is triangle and rectangle. You are getting the same answer, 25 meters. So what we have learned? We have learned that the slope of the VT graph gives us acceleration and the area under the slope of the VT graph gives us displacement. Fine students. So let's take now from the textbook what it says. So here we have a VT graph wherein it is showing a zero acceleration graph. You can see clearly over here, and here you can easily answer these questions also. So that is, a train is moving with a uniform velocity that is 60 kilometers per hour it is given for 5 continuous hours. So it is moving for 5 continuous hours here. So hours time is plotted here. You can see it is in terms of hours, and velocity is given in terms of 60 in terms of kilometer per hour. Fine. So we can have like that also. We earlier have taught you of meters per second, and this also we have taken in seconds. Now this is in kilometers per hour. This is given in hours, right? So let's see now. It is given as 60 kilometers per hour for 5 hours. So the velocity time graph for this uniform motion is shown here in the figure 1.7. With the help of the graph, how will you determine the distance covered by the train between 2 and 4 hours? So here actually they want to mean distance means your displacement. So as I mentioned to you, you can easily find out displacement by taking the formula. Now here if you see zero acceleration, we will always have a rectangle. So you will have to use the formula length multiplied by breadth, or maybe you can take this is 60 and 60 multiplied by this. So 60 multiplied by this is 2 and 4. So the difference between these two is coming as 2 hours. So 60 multiplied by 2 if you do, you are getting the answer 120 kilometers. Fine. So the distance covered between 2 and 4 hours by the train is 120 kilometers. Is that clear, students? So this is what I have explained you previously. So this is just now you just have to write the answers. Now next one. Is there a relation between the distance covered by the train between 2 and 4 hours and the area of particular quadrangle in the graph? What is the acceleration of the train? Yes, of course. Now here if you see, here it is covering what? The displacement is 120 and velocity is 60 kilometers per hour. So velocity if you see is not going on changing, it is remaining after every hour. So that means it is moving with a constant velocity. Since it is moving with a constant velocity, we are not having acceleration. And since there is no acceleration, that means this is a type of, what is acceleration? It is the zero acceleration graph. Is that clear, students? Okay. Let's continue with the next velocity time graph for uniform acceleration, which we have already learnt now. Now here is a uniform acceleration, that is velocity time graph for uniform acceleration. Is that clear? So now velocity time graph for uniform acceleration, what it says here, let's see. If you see here, you can take, just now I have explained to you about this. So you can easily find out about, how much is the displacement. So let's see what is asked here. The velocity changes by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. That means it is a uniform acceleration. You can see 8 meters per second, then 16 meters per second, then 24, and every 5 seconds it is changing at a rate of 8 meters per second. So we can easily find out at every point how much is the acceleration. So if you want to find out acceleration, it is very easy. What you will have to do is that you will have to take the final velocity minus initial velocity, you will have to do upon time, final time minus initial time. Suppose if you want to find out between these 2 points, okay, let's take this here only, okay, right, directly the points which are shown here on the graph. So let's suppose now we have to find out how much is the acceleration between these 2 points. How we can find out? This is the final position, this is the initial position, right? So we can do what? 32 minus 16 will come as 16 upon 20 minus 10. 20 minus 10 is 10. So 16 upon 10, how much is the answer? It will become 1.6. Okay, 1.6 meters per second square will be the acceleration of this. And every time you will find out that it is same. Is that clear, students? So it is uniformly accelerated motion. I will not explain to you much more because this is already explained now. Now, the velocity changes by equal amounts in equal intervals of time. Thus, this is uniformly accelerated motion. How much does the velocity change after every 5 minutes? It is not 5 minutes, it is given in seconds. So, after every 5 seconds, it is changing 8 meters per second. You can see at this, it is 8. Here also it is changing at 8, then it is here also at 8 meters per second, and so on. Okay, because how you can find out? You can just find out the difference between the two. You will get the velocity. Okay, so it is changing at a uniform rate. Now, next question. For all uniformly accelerated motions, the velocity time graph is a straight line. Yes, for all the uniformly accelerated motion, the velocity time graph will be always a straight line. For non-uniformly accelerated motions, the velocity time graph may have any shape. Correct. So here, if it is the velocity change is different, okay, here the data will be given. Suppose here it is 8, then it is 15, then it is 26, then it is 30, and so on. That means the velocity is not changing at an equal rate. Fine. So that time what we'll have, we will not have a straight line graph. We will have any shape. We can get any curve shape or some other S shape, and so on. Depends upon how is the data given. So for non-uniformly accelerated motion, the velocity time graph may have any shape depending upon how the acceleration changes with time. Fine. So, and this is regarding this. Okay, so here the calculation is given here to find out the displacement. Check that similar to the example of the train. The distance covered is given by area of quadrangle ABCD. Okay, so here also you are going to get the same answer if you take the formula of a trapezium, or you can first take the area of a triangle, how it is shown here, area of rectangle ABCD plus area of rectangle ABE. This way also you can do, or you can directly take the area of ABCD, okay, ABCD by using the formula of a trapezium. Is that clear, students? So we have learned in this video today about the VT graph. So VT graph gives us, the slope of the VT graph gives us acceleration. The area under the slope gives us the displacement. Okay, we can find out about the displacement. We have also learned about the zero acceleration graph. We have learned about the uniform acceleration graph. Okay, I have in brief also I have mentioned to you about the retarded acceleration or negative acceleration graph also I mentioned to you. Non-uniform acceleration also I mentioned to you. Is that clear, students? So always remember, uniformly accelerated motion, accelerated motion will always have a straight line, whereas a non-uniform acceleration motion will have any shape. Okay, students, so next time we are going to learn about the equations of motion using a graphical method. Now once you have understood about what is a graph and how we can use the graph to interpret certain things, it is very easy. Is that clear? So thank you, dear students.